All right, future mathematicians, we are going to be going over some different functions that we can do in strings. We've already done a couple of these just in demonstrations with f strings and other things, but we're going to play a little bit more with them because they're good search options that can be applied to both strings and lists. So we want to do some of those. All right, so for this, I have started with a string, and notice that string is not a reserved word, but str, the shortened abbreviation for string, is one. So we're gonna start with string is equal to Python is the best programming language. There we go. All right, so at first we're going to find the length of string. So I'm gonna print all of these just so I have a nice phrase with everything. Here we're going to, we'll say a new variable that is, notice that len is a reserved word, and we'll get there in a second. All right, so we're gonna say len str. Because it's in a variable, it's okay. We can use str, so it's shortened. So that equals the len, or length, of, and we'll put in string. So cool, so now we have the length of string is equal to this len modifier of string. So that's going to find the length. So now if I print the length of the string is, and then put a space, and then I'm going to comment, or just comma, and then throw length string right there, and I'll print that out. Cool. All right, so now we want to find the first letter of the string. And this is a process that is known as indexing. So the very first thing that we want to do is index this. And how we do that is kind of similar to a list function. So we're going to say that the first letter in the string is, and then what we're going to do is we'll close this up, and then we're going to use another tool. So we're going to say string, and then we are going to put this little bracket as if we were doing a list, and we're going to say 0. Remember that occasionally computers will count with 0 as its very first entry. So in this case, if we are looking for the first character in it, we are going to index, and we should get a capital P. So we are going to go through this and we'll find the last letter. Now the last letter is a little tricky because it doesn't quite follow the same format as the first letter. Obviously you can't have 0 at the beginning and 0 at the end, otherwise you have redundance, and you'll have two answers in most cases. The last letter in the string is, and then we can put string, we'll do the same command. So we're going to index, and we're going to choose -1. So it's 1 from the back. That's how we find the last letter. So if we're going back here, we're probably going to get this period, but I'm going to cut this out just so we'll get E. So it'll be nice and easy so I don't have to rewrite all that. So cool, we have now found how to find the first letter and the last letter. Now this is something that we've done before, which is create the uppercase and lowercase. So we can just print this and it'll be nice and simple. We can go string dot upper, and remember we need its own brackets here, and now it should print our string as an upper. And now we can also do the same thing for lowercase. It's string dot lower, do the bracket to declare the function, and there we go. Now we have both the uppercase and the lowercase. It'll print those out. All right, so let's go into finding some letters. Now this is a little bit trickier, but it's a lot of fun in that we can find stuff in a list. If we ever need to find anything, these will be some of the same things that we'll do. So we are going to call a new variable, and we're going to say that this is called position. So it's our position within our list. And we are going to find equals, we're going to take our string and we are going to use the upper. Now, the reason why we are using upper is because a uppercase, we'll say an uppercase T is different from an lowercase t. So if we have everything at the same case, then it's easier to find information, which is why we might throw things into an upper or in lower so that we can find everything in that case. And then we don't have to search for two different things. So we are going to search our string.upper. Oh, here. What I want to do is I would like to say that string underscore upper is equal to string dot upper. And yeah, so we still need these. So that is equal to string dot upper. You could just now, instead of this, do an underscore and do upper, and it'll work the same way. So we're going to actually search string underscore upper because I don't want to do multiple functions. It'll just be a little bit easier. So we are then going to do dot find because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find the letters. So we're going to actually try and find that TH. Now it's both uppercase, so we're looking for TH. And if we do this correctly, we should get a TH here at Python and at the. I don't know why I said Python, so weird. It sounds fancy. All right, so now we want to print if we find it. So if we are going to do position I spelled that right, is equal to -1, or meaning that it is non-existent, then we are going to do something else. We are going to print there is no, and then we can inside here, because we're inside the colons, TH in the string. So we'll print that if we get a position of -1. And keep in mind, we can't have, because it's 2 letters, we can't have one that's just a -1, because that would have to be a single letter, where this would be 2. So it can't just equal 1 position, because this phrase occupies 2 positions. So that's what we're going to do if, and then else. So this is if we do. We are going to print the position of TH in the string is, and then we can call out that variable that we named, so position. Because this should just find back what we are looking for. It will put it in brackets as if we are calling back, finding a first letter or anything like that. All right, so now what if we want to replace a letter? So let's go and see if we wanted to replace a letter. We are going to call this, oh boy, do I still have a print statement open somewhere? I don't think so. All right, cool. We'll get there when we get there. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. All right, cool. So if we are trying to replace a letter, let's take a look at a other command that we are going to say, we're going to call this string mod or string modified. And that is going to be equal to our string dot replace. And now replace is a command so that when we are running this, the first one that we choose is going to be the letter that we are trying to replace. So let's see if we take out, we've got, there's kind of a lot of letters all over the place. Let's go with, yeah, let's go with, yeah. I don't know what's a good one. There's not one that's in every single one. Let's go with G. There's a lot of G's though. We'll replace G with we're going to replace that with the phrase, or no, we'll just replace it with a money sign. So there we go. So anytime that we have a G, we should replace it like that. And now we can just print that. So print, and we'll choose, we'll go modified string, and then string underscore mod. Cool. All right. So I think that should be, that's all. Oh wait, nope. We want to print every other character. I have one more little command that we're going to do on here. And this is actually going to use a for loop if we want to print every other character. So we are now going to say for I in range. And for the range of this, we're still going to start at 0, but if we want our total length, we want to use that length of string that we used before. So length of, or no, it's just length str. And then we are going to do, if we want to print every other letter, so that's going to be 2, so every other step. And then we are going to, I need that. So we're going to do print for this, and we're going to print our string with this bracket, and we're going to use I because that's what we placed in our for loop. And then we are going to do end, because otherwise it will print them on all different lines. We want to make our end equal to nothing so that it just prints every other letter right next to each other. Cool. All right. Let's see. That was a long one. We'll see if there's any errors that I made throughout the way. Oh, need to save it. All right. So we're getting there. Where was the error? In string, oh, I put a dot in here too. Don't need that. So we'll run the module. Cool. All right, so the length of the string is 39. The first letter is P. The last letter is E. Python is the best programming language. Python is the best programming language. The position of TH in the string is 2. So right now, there are 2 instances of our TH, but we're just going to get the first one. So our position, remember, is 0, 1, 2, and that's the start of this TH phrase. Modified string. Python is the best, $signs, and then this is every other letter. So you have a little challenge that you will have to do something very similar to this. So check that out on the website, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.